Hello, this is Jason with Dell Technologies, and today I'd like to show you what you can do when your server won't boot after a Windows update. So the first thing that we need to do is download the Windows install media for whatever operating system you're running. And in this case, it's Windows Server 2019. And if you don't have the media, you can download it by going to searching for like Server 2019 evaluation, and it'll take you to the Microsoft site where you can download the ISO. Then you can create a bootable USB out of the ISO or mount it to the iDRAC as virtual media and boot to the virtual media on the iDRAC. And then you'll come to this screen right here when you boot. And then we'll choose next and repair your computer. And it's also possible that if your server was in like a boot loop, after a few failed reboots, if the recovery options are enabled, it may bring you to this screen without booting to media, and you can go from there as well. So here we'll go click on troubleshoot and command prompt. And the first thing that we need to do is find out where our Windows folder is in the recovery command prompt. So most of us install our operating system on C, but in the recovery environment, you can see it's not on C. We have no Windows folder there. So let's look on dir, and there's our Windows folder. So we're going to be working with the D drive in this case. Your drive letter could be different, so you just have to find that Windows folder to see where your Windows drive is. So the first thing that we are going to do is run dism an image : d : / so that is where Windows is installed. Then / cleanup -image space / revert pending actions, and run that. And mine completed successfully, and I didn't have any pending actions at the time, so it went through real quickly. But in your case, it could take a few minutes to actually revert any pending actions that Windows updates may have applied. And then once that's completed, you can just X out of this window and boot normally and see if you're able to boot into Windows. Now, there are cases where what the Windows update completely applies, but then when you try to get to your login screen, it causes a reboot. So the Windows update applied, it's not pending, and in those cases, we'll have to manually remove the update. So we'll come back to the same command prompt, and in this case, we'll run dism, and we want to point to the image again, and / git - packages. And this will show us all of the Windows update packages that have installed. And the latest updates are usually towards the bottom. So if you only have one update that installed and you see that, it was the latest one, then you'll know that that's the one that you need to remove. If you have, 3 or 4 or more, then you could just try removing one at a time, or you could remove, a few at a time, and eventually you'll be able to remove one that allows Windows to boot. So here's the command that we'll want to run: dism, then point to our image again, : d : / then / remove - package, and / package name : and then we want to get the whole package name. And for this, instead of typing out that whole long name, you could just left click and highlight it with your mouse, then let go, and then right click once, and then right click again, and it'll paste that package name in there. And in my case, none of my Windows updates are broken, so I'm not going to actually remove it, but you would click on that to remove the package. And then once the package is removed, you can click on this X and then click on continue to boot to Windows, and hopefully your Windows will boot for you normally. So that is how you do it. I hope this helped you out, and thank you for watching.